Hey there, it's Stephanie Treasure, and welcome to this edition of Let's Talk Business Growth Live. I'm happy that you're joining me. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm happy that you have been tuning in and taking part in this series of Let's Talk Business Growth Live videos. And I love to hear from you. So as you join me, please go ahead and comment below. Let me know where you're logging in from and share with me what you do. I'd like to know what your business is about, what you are creating, the transformations that you're helping people to make in their lives. And if there's anything exciting that you're working on right now, anything exciting in your world, go ahead and share that as well. And I know that everything is not always rainbows and sunshine. So if there is a challenge that you're having, go ahead and comment that too. Chances are there's somebody else that's tuning in on the replay that could give you their feedback on how they dealt with a similar situation. And of course, I am more than happy to share if it's something that I've dealt with or my clients have encountered. I can give you some tips as it relates to how they overcame that challenge as well. All right. So today I have lost count. I know I'm approaching the end of these. I started doing these, I think it was the 21st of November. So I am committed to doing these series of Let's Talk Business Growth Live videos, live streams each day, every day for 30 days. I've challenged myself to give you that support, to show up unabashedly, consistently for you, sharing with you various viewpoints, tips, strategies, lessons learned from client meetings or lessons that I shared in client meetings, giving you little bits and pieces of that, or lessons from other community members' questions. I come here live and I share with you some things that can help you to move your business forward, coming from, all those various sources, right? So I hope you found this helpful. And again, I look forward to hearing from you. So what I'm going to be sharing with you on today's topic, shining the camera inward a little bit here, is one piece of advice that changed my business for good. Right? One piece of advice that changed my business for good. My business has been on a trajectory here for some years now, although it didn't start out that way, or it wasn't, even if I did start out with a bang, which I did because I was able to enroll 8+ clients in under 8 weeks in my first go around in business. And those of you that are here and following me and you have downloaded my Ready, Set, Booked guide, which has received thousands of downloads, you would have most likely heard or read my story. But there were times, and as any business experiences, where there were some valleys, there were peaks in my business and there were a lot of valleys in my business, times when things weren't going the best that they could have been, right? And many times I was not quite sure what to do, what it meant, how to overcome those challenges, and feeling alone, feeling that possibly I have to wrap things up as it relates to the business, and not quite sure what to do to turn things around, right? And over the years, I too have invested in various mentors. And each time I've invested, that has helped me to move my business forward. But what I want to focus on for today's edition of Let's Talk Business Growth Live is one advice that truly changed my business for good, truly changed the game for me, and really made a difference in terms of how I was showing up and the results that I was experiencing, okay? And I'm hoping that when I share this one advice, that will inspire you too, or you'll find that helpful. I don't know if you'd have heard this advice before. Even if you have heard it before, if you're listening to this right now on the replay, on whichever platform I upload this, there's a reason why you're hearing it again, right? Because sometimes we get lessons that are shared to us from mentors or colleagues or other people, and if it's not the right time for us to receive and really hear and internalize that message or that piece of advice and put it to use in our lives, then we don't act on it and we don't benefit from it. So if you're hearing this again, once I do share what this means, there's a reason why you're hearing it again, right? So take note of that and do with it what you will. Hopefully you'll do something positive with it and be able to turn things around for yourself. So the advice, one piece of advice that changed my business for good was when my former mentor said that when you make investment decisions, make it based on your desired outcome. When you make investment decisions, make that decisions based on or from the perspective of your desired outcome. So I was at a crossroads where I had to make an investment in my business, right? And looking at my profit and loss statement, looking at the inflows, looking at the outflows, looking at my cash situation, looking at my capital situation, I didn't feel that I could support that decision financially, right? That investment decision, and it was an investment decision. Hear me when I say this is an investment decision, not necessarily an expense. And sometimes the two do go together. So for instance, deciding to invest in support, let's just say you don't have a virtual assistant right now, deciding to invest in a virtual assistant, that would mean taking on an expense. But it's also an investment decision, because when you invest in support, when you invest in team members that can support you to grow your business, it allows you to focus that much more on growth, because you're able to delegate some of the other things that keeps you playing in the business, as opposed to keeps you playing in the business and working on the business, as opposed to playing in the business and working in the business, as opposed to working on the business as a CEO from a higher level. So that's an investment, and it comes with a monthly or weekly, depending on how you're paying your VA. It comes with an expense that's not that wasn't previously on the books, right? But I was looking to make an investment decision, and like I said, it didn't seem feasible based on where I was sitting and looking at the numbers. But I knew I had a solid plan. I knew that, and I believed in the plan in terms of how it would provide a return, how it would work itself out, how it would materialize. I believed in that. And with that belief, I knew that there were some inflows that would happen as a result. Once I made that investment and set the wheels in motion and get things moving, it would allow for me to bring in revenue that, while I didn't have that revenue upfront to invest, once I made that revenue, it would have justified the spend. So I didn't have the spend in the beginning at the outset. And like I said, it just didn't make sense when I looked at the practical dollars and cents of it all, looked at my P&L, looked at committed inflows, look at committed outflows. It didn't make sense for me to make that investment decision. But based on the outcome that I was trying to achieve, that I was planning to achieve, based on the plan that I was going to execute, I had faith and belief in that plan, because as I said before, I had invested in mentors and I had invested in this mentor. And based on the plan that we put together, I knew that I would achieve, if not the exact outcome, I definitely would have come close. I definitely would have been able to have an outcome, a financial outcome that would have been able to pay for the upfront spend. And once I internalized that and truly got it and was able to get out of quagmire, like I said, of the numbers and the analytic, not the analytics, but the numbers and the fear and the apprehension of making that investment. Once I got that, I continued to make those kinds of investment decisions each time that I wanted to move my business forward or gain something or achieve an outcome that I hadn't achieved before. But the first time I put that in place, it meant taking out a loan. And, of course, you get all the feels whenever you borrow money, whether or not you're going to be able to service the loan and be able to pay it back. And all the things came up. But again, I believed in my plan and I knew that the plan needed funding. So I secured the funding and worked the plan. And I had to that point at the time, my biggest growth spurt. I was able to, I think I tripled my email list size. I doubled the size of my Facebook group. I got super visible and revered as an expert. I got invited to secure more speaking gigs. And the sweet spot in terms of return, I did bring on more clients. And so I was able to service and pay off that loan as well as realize a profit within 3 months of taking out, of venturing down that path, right? I was able to achieve all those stats, tripling my email list, doubling my Facebook group, bringing on clients and doubling my revenue within 3 months, okay? So that's one of the best, one of the best pieces of advice that I've received. And that changed my business for good. So I wanted to share that with you in terms of, being vulnerable and open and transparent about my experience as it relates to this one piece of advice. Now, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's level of commitment, everybody, I don't know what plan you're working on, what you're looking at that may need funding right now. So you'd have to discern for yourself based on your own situation. But I hope this inspires you for whenever you need to make investment decisions, to always look at where you're going, what that investment decision is looking to bring about, as opposed to where you are. Because where you are is where you are because possibly having not made investments. But where you're headed is to a place that is above the level where you are right now. And it's going to require some skin in the game. It's going to most likely require some investment. It's going to require for you to do things that are scary. Taking out a loan is scary. Taking funds from another place to put into your business is scary, right? But you have to discern for your situation what you need to do, based on your situation, what you need to do to get you to that place where you're headed, to get you to that next level, to get you to achieve, to be able to put the things in place that will allow you to achieve that outcome and arrive there on firm footing, right? That's up to you. So I hope this inspires you. I hope this inspires what you're looking forward to, what you're looking to create, where you're headed, the vision that you want to fund and see materialize. Know that you're not alone. This is something that I've done. This is something that many business owners that you see are playing bigger games, running multiple six-figure, seven-figure, and eight-figure businesses. It doesn't normally come. You don't normally get to that point with bootstrapping. You usually have to invest something in order to get there. And once I came again to terms with that, it totally changed the game for me, right? That may be possible for you as well, right? So I'm going to leave you with that on this edition of Let's Talk Business Growth Live. Now, I'd like to leave you with a call to action. Comment below and share with me a top tip that has changed your business trajectory. Or I'd like to hear from you. What is a big investment? Comment below and share this. A big investment that you made that totally changed the game for you as well. I look forward to hearing your stories. I look forward to hearing your feedback. And I look forward to seeing you on the next edition of Let's Talk Business Growth Live. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.